it going today? So happy Wednesday. It's Live Chat Wednesday. So I'm coming live to talk all about different career paths you could take after graduate school. So I was talking to someone in our group this past weekend about how in grad school they never really advertise the other types of career paths you could have other than research in academia, and there are so many different things you can do after graduate school, and it seems kind of unfair that you're not really told about these things. And so I just want to talk about different options and career options that you could take after graduate school if you feel like academia is just not for you. It doesn't have to be for you, and so there's no shame in not wanting to go into academia after graduate school. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I wanted to talk about the different career paths. There are only three, but they have subcategories. All right, so the first career path is also, let me know in the comments if you have decided what career path you want to take already, or if you're unsure, or if you kind of have an idea. I just want to know where you guys are. So if you're watching this live or the replay, just let me know in the comments what type of career you would like after graduate school. Okay, so the first type is academia, so it's the one that everyone talks about, the one that I do, but there are different ways to be in academia, right? So the first way is the one probably your advisor would want you to take. So working at a research institution where you have a tenure track professorship, where you'll be responsible for teaching a couple classes and publishing papers from your research or writing books from your research. So that would be a tenure track professorship position, so that's like the first thing in academia. Or a tenure track professorship, but at a liberal arts college, so it's a little different. So here, you won't be working with graduate students. You'll be responsible for teaching undergraduates, mentoring undergraduates, maybe even doing some undergraduate research. So very focused on the students. You do have to do research typically, but maybe not as much, or the requirements aren't as difficult to reach as in a research institution. Or finally, you can be a faculty member that's a teaching-focused faculty member. So a job like me, I'm a lecturer at UGA, and so my position actually is not tenure track, however, it is permanent, so I can be promoted to senior lecturer after 5 years. But yeah, so I'm just focused on teaching. I'm not required to do any kind of research. I don't have to publish any kind of papers, but that works for me because I love teaching, and that's what I wanted to do. So those are the three types of careers you could have if you stay in academia. So you could also go into industry. So industry means a lot, and it means different things for different disciplines or different fields. So you could, maybe if you're a lab scientist, you could work in a lab for a company, or maybe in the medical field doing research in a specific lab, typically a for-profit type of lab. Or you could work out in the field. So by field, I'm meaning something like maybe if you're in social work and you actually work with people, doing actual social work in the field, or maybe if you're in economics and you like work out in the field by like talking to people and consulting with people, or maybe even working in the government. There are a bunch of government jobs for PhDs, especially in math. There are a lot of government jobs as well. So that's the other type. I call it industry, even though it could mean like labs or government or working in the field. And then finally, there are these non-traditional routes. So these are the ones I really wanted to talk about today because I feel like you know about the other two. All right, so non-traditional routes would be not in academia, not necessarily in a lab or in some type of office or anything. It's like, how can you use your degree in a different way? So the person I was talking with this weekend, her interests really lie in educating the public about her field. She's in genetics or ecology, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda. And she's really interested in sharing with the public about science and like creating a more science literate, is that the word? People in the community need to know more about what we're studying in the universities. Like, I feel like no one's talking about it. So we do have this cool thing called Science Cafe in Athens where people share their research in a relaxed setting downtown for the community. But yeah, working in some way to educate people about your field, or working in some type of outreach for some type of outreach organization. For example, we have all these societies in our fields, like for me, the Mathematical Association of America, or the American Statistical Association. So all of these societies that you probably have conferences for you to go to, people work for these societies. People work on the board. People work in the community service part of those societies. So maybe you're interested in something like that. You could even start your own business utilizing the skills or the things you learned in grad school. So you can start your own business. That's a career path. Or you don't even have to use your degree at all. There is completely no shame in getting your PhD in something and realizing, actually, I can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. And so you do something else. No shame. You have a PhD, right? If you did something, you finished and completed something. You should be very proud of that. So you shouldn't feel any shame if you don't feel connected to any type of career path that is obvious for your career, for your degree. So yeah, it's your life, right? So if it's your life, why are you living it for someone else? Why? Oh, hi, someone's live with me. Let me know who you are if you're live with me. But yeah, so it's your life, it's your career, so there's no shame in not doing what's expected of you. You should be happy. You don't want to be in a career where you are not happy and you feel miserable every single day. We've already been through grad school. No need to prolong that anymore. So if you don't want to work in your field, you don't have to. You have to figure out what you like to do. So that brings me to the next part of this video. How do you figure out what career path is best for you? Right? How do you figure out what to do after graduate school? Well, pretty much you just have to test some things out. So knowing what the options are and seeing if you would like to do it. So for example, teaching, right? I'm a teaching faculty member. I would have never chosen this career before I actually taught as a graduate student. So teaching as a grad student can be helpful. Definitely doing your research and maybe publishing papers and figuring out what that process is like. And also, if there's no way to actually experience something, you can interview people. Like, interview people who are in the job that you may be interested in and see what was their path to get there. How do they like their job? What is their day-to-day life like? I'm sure people don't really ask other people these things, and I'm sure they'll be interested in helping you and even mentoring you. And finding a mentor outside of the department is always amazing. All right, so while you're trying things out and maybe you figured out something you may be interested in, you should definitely apply to programs where you can practice or work through those things. For example, me. I started teaching as a grad student. I loved it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be a faculty member. I'm going to just be a regular professor, so maybe work at a Research One institution, do research, which I should have known. I hate research, so I should have known that I wouldn't like to do that. But I figured that out by participating in programs. So, for example, I participated in the Building Future Faculty program, the BFF program. I think I wrote all about it in my blog, the Academic Society, so I'll link it below this video as soon as I find that blog post. But I did a program called the Building Future Faculty program at NC State, North Carolina State, where I basically walked through my whole day and how a professor at a Research One institution would. And I got to talk to people who worked in the department I would be working in. People looked over my CV. I learned about grant writing. I learned about publishing papers. I learned about everything that was required. And I was like, this sounds so stressful. This does not sound fun. This is not what I want to do. So I knew from that one experience that I would not like to work at a Research One institution. So trying things out can actually weed out some of those possibilities. You can eliminate those things and get down to the root of what you love to do. I mean, you should love some part of what you're getting your degree in. So there should be some type of next step that you can take after graduate school. But again, like I said, if you want to not use your degree at all, I give you the freedom to do that, right? So let me know in the comments what you're thinking about doing after graduate school. I think that's all I wanted to say, yeah, just make sure you test some things out. Meet some people, apply for programs, apply for internships to see if these things are what you want to do. And don't wait. You don't have to wait for your advisor to tell you to do these things. Just go out and try these things, especially in the summers. All right, so that is all for today. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.